My marriage, we were both in our 30s, this is important, had problems right away. One of the manifestations was him berating me for not going to an elite university. I went to a very good undergraduate and an even better graduate school, had not finished at that point, but he went to one of the best schools in the country, known for graduates with a chip on their shoulder. That was really all he had on me, and I would just laugh. Even his parents told him he was being a jerk and sounded like an idiot because I had an impressive education. Something I had never felt the need to discuss before. So anyway, he became really competitive about his college and especially his friends from college. Very few he was still in touch with, this was before Facebook, and he had this photo box full of memorabilia. Cardboard, no lock or anything. I had a dozen or so myself. A normal thing would be to go through his and mine together and share memories and stories and bond. I didn't really care about what was in the box, and college stories are boring when you weren't there, but I would have listened. But the box became a symbol of everything wrong, with him constantly saying I'm not good enough for his college friends. At some point he forbade me to look in the box. Of course I didn't take this well. Telling me I wasn't good enough to see what's in the box was like kerosene. It got brought up in every fight. Like a death spiral of, you're jealous of my friends, / your friends suck and I wouldn't like them anyway. I didn't say I was the hero in this story. Fast forward through years of abuse. We moved on to more spectacular fights and the box fell pretty far down the list. Then for some reason one day he went up to the attic and couldn't find his box. He said I threw it away because I was jealous and petty. I didn't, but after a few years of this he managed to convince me maybe I did. That's how abuse works. And you threw away my box, went back into heavy rotation. I begged his forgiveness, and fell deeper into depression over the depths to which my life had sunk. Finally got a divorce. Cops, restraining orders, the whole nine. I healed, moved on. Years later I sold my house. It was mine before, and when I was packing up I found the damn box. I had such an emotional reaction my legs buckled. I sat on the floor and wept. My boyfriend was really sweet about it. He didn't know about the box. It's so ridiculous and I was so ashamed, but mostly I had put it all behind me by then. Until it all came rushing back. I called a mutual friend and asked him to come get the box so they could get it to him. People suggested I should throw it away out of spite, but I had something to prove. Before I turned it over, I put copies of 2 unpublished essays I wrote about what he did to me, along with a handwritten note. I knew you didn't have the balls to kill me, and I sold your Dungeons and Dragons books. Who's he going to tell? I mean, he probably will. But then he has to admit what's in the essays, and he's the 52-year-old man bitching 10 years post-divorce that his ex-wife sold his Dungeons and Dragons books. Comment by user. Getting into that university is the most important thing that ever happened to him. Reply by original poster. Absolutely it is. Comment by user. Sounds like proof you can go to one of the best colleges, but it won't cure stupidity. Reply by original poster. And in his case, not a predictor of success in life. Comment by user. I could have written your post. My ex used to hide things, then tell me I'd either lost the item through negligence or accuse me of deliberate destruction. If the item ever turned up again, he usually denied the previous conversation completely and I was the crazy one for imagining it or making things up. I could never have one. So glad that we're both talking about our exes and bravo on your revenge. Hugs. Reply by original poster. Thanks for sharing. It's crazy how they all use the same playbook. Isn't it? Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I could have written your post. My ex used to hide things, then tell me I'd either lost the item through negligence or accuse me of deliberate destruction. If the item ever turned up again, he usually denied the previous conversation completely and I was the crazy one for imagining it or making things up. I could never have one. So glad that we're both talking about our exes and bravo on your revenge. Hugs. Reply by original poster. Awful. I'm so sorry and I'm glad you're doing better. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. There's an expression that Harvard people use called dropping the H-bomb, which is the presumed stigma of telling people you went to Harvard. The premise is that you shouldn't tell people you went there because they will be so envious that they won't want to talk to you anymore, so you should say you went to college in Cambridge. Truth is no one cares where you went to college, and Harvard people always tell you they went there anyway. Reply by original poster. Yeah, I've heard that lol. Michael J. Fox had a sitcom called Spin City. Heather Locklear came in to interview for a job, and she didn't want him to be intimidated by her, so he would hire her. So her resume said, University of Massachusetts. When she gets the job and is introduced to the mayor, she goes, "Oh, that's a typo. It's a University in Massachusetts, Harvard. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I'm sure he's alone, curled up with his box in bed every night. Good for you getting rid of him. Reply by original poster. GIF. Emote free _ kissing _ subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. Glad you got away from this waste of a human, and I hope you are in a safe and happy place now. Reply by original poster. Thanks. Comment by user. Glad you got away from this waste of a human, and I hope you are in a safe and happy place now. Reply by original poster. Thanks. And thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. This was a really good story, like a preview to a good movie that I now want to watch. Reply by original poster. Oh, that's sweet. Comment by user. This was a really good story, like a preview to a good movie that I now want to watch. Reply by original poster. You can subscribe here. pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I found something my ex-husband accused me of destroying. His ego. Reply by original poster. Nice smiling face with hearts. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. What was in the box? Anything good? Reply by original poster. Just clippings and party pics and stuff like that. I had several boxes of my own full of stuff like that. The box was normal. The mockery was not. Comment by user. What was in the box? Anything good? Reply by original poster. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. My abusive ex used to lose things all the time and blame me for moving/hiding them, especially if I were the one who found said item, or remind him where I knew he left it. One time he couldn't find his work cell phone. After getting berated by him once again on how I must have hidden it from him, I ended up finding it underneath the seat of his truck, where I told him it probably was. Instead of giving it back to him, I hurled it off the dock into the lake in front of our house. It felt so good, and I didn't care that he ended up having to pay out of pocket to replace it. I have no regrets, laugh out loud. It's been 8 years since our divorce, and things are much more amicable now. We share 2 teenagers, and I've done the work to get myself healthy enough to be able to move past everything for the sake of the boys, but every once in a while when he is being a turd, and I take the high road to keep things copacetic, knowing that his work phone is still somewhere on the bottom of the lake reminds me, on a very petty level, I've still got the upper hand. Reply by original poster. That's great. Glad things are going well for you. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. My ex accused me of losing some of her work papers. For some reason she believed that they were in the home office she never used and not in her office at work, and that I was somehow responsible for them when they entered the house. She was mad that I couldn't produce them on demand. I should have left her dumbass then. Reply by original poster. They have a way of putting the responsibility on us, don't they? Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Funny. In my world, being a decent person and good husband trumps having a degree from an elite university. Reply by original poster. In most worlds. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Publish those essays. Reply by original poster. Oh, I will. Thanks, winking face. Comment by user. Publish those essays. Reply by original poster. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Thanks for reading. Comment by user. You're jealous of my friends / your friends suck and I wouldn't like them anyway. I didn't say I was the hero in this story. You are definitely the hero in this story. Reply by original poster. Ah, thanks. GIF. Emote free _ kissing _ Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. You're jealous of my friends / your friends suck and I wouldn't like them anyway. I didn't say I was the hero in this story. You are definitely the hero in this story. Reply by original poster. Ah, thanks. GIF. Emote free _ kissing _ And thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Sad story. I'm glad you're safe now. Reply by original poster. Thank you, and thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. The school he went to is definitely Harvard. I briefly dated a girl who went there and it was her whole identity, including berating me for going to a different school. I eventually ended it and in doing so told her something along the lines that she was like the short, ugly dude at the gym always making a show to let everyone know that he's working out, but all those muscles won't make you taller or less ugly. Reply by original poster. Nice. Smiling face with sunglasses. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Did he get remarried? What's the follow-up on this elite Ivy League douche? Reply by original poster. He left town and we are not in touch. Mutual friends don't bring him up. I only told a few close friends about the box. I needed support. If everyone finds out, that's on him. Comment by user. Did he get remarried? What's the follow-up on this elite Ivy League douche? Reply by original poster. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. A lion doesn't have to tell you it's a lion. Reply by original poster. Love it. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Sold his Dungeons and Dragons books. Damn woman, you really did take a horrible revenge on him. I want to say no one deserves that, but sounds like he really did. Reply by original poster. Smiling face with halo face with tears of joy. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. 52-year-old man complaining 10 years post-divorce that his ex-wife sold his D&D books. This right here is what's so beautifully petty. Not the box. That box was a lot of unresolved issues and recollection of past trauma for you. Also, The fact that you returned a box of your Wazban's most cherished memories even after all that reveals the warmth and kindness that lies deep within your soul. But on top of that, I know you didn't have the balls to kill me? A dagger in the heart. What a way to reclaim your power. Honestly, it gave me a erection. I've always found powerful women attractive though. And lady, you're breathtaking. I wish you all the luck and joy that is fortunate enough to cross your path and wonderful, flower-filled paths along your journey. Edit, fixed first quote. Reply by original poster. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. So what kind of spectacular life has he built with his elite education? I'm assuming he is a captain of industry, a research scientist with important discoveries to his credit, an inventor who is solving the energy/climate crisis or some such amazement. Reply by original poster. Ha! Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Anytime an elitist fuckwad can be brought down a peg or two is a time to celebrate. Reply by original poster. Face with tears of joy. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. My ex-husband was a lot like that. One example suffices to show his personality and our entire marriage. You ruined my friendship with this person we had not seen in 13 years, and wouldn't let me be friends with him. Me what? No? When we moved to our second station he kept emailing you, and you didn't respond. I had nothing to do with it. He paused to think. Well, it feels true, so I blame you. I swear on everything that this happened, and he really said that. One of our kids, 17 at the time, overheard all this and instantly lost all respect for his father. Reply by original poster. Oh, I feel this. I got blamed for all of his friends he lost contact with. Nothing nefarious was happening. People just grow up and move on with their lives. Most people at least face with rolling eyes. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. That reminds me of a story. When I was little, my family did a lot of camping. My dad was a college professor, so he had summers off, and he and my brother and I would spend more than half the summer at a state park halfway across the state. We cut back on it a little when I was in middle school because he remarried, and my stepmom didn't have summers off. But we still did a lot of camping. When I was a freshman in high school, my dad bought 2 candle lanterns from L. Bean. They were pretty fancy. They were made of polished brass, and had a spring that pushed the candle up a tube that was tapered at the top, so the flame stayed at the same height. Anyway, a year or two later, we couldn't find them when we were getting all our camping gear ready for the summer. My dad decided that I had stolen them. In all fairness, I had had a tendency to appropriate other people's stuff when I was little. But even though I had stopped doing that years prior, I was accused of theft pretty much every time anyone was unable to find something. My room was searched. When the candle lanterns weren't found, they just decided I had used them without permission and lost or broken them. After that, at least once a month, my dad would randomly mutter, "Pisses me off about those goddamned candle lanterns." That continued for 7 years and only stopped because he died of a heart attack. When we were settling the estate, my brother and I were going through the house and cataloging items of value. There was a closet in the hallway where my dad kept his gun collection, and while we were going through it, we found the candle lanterns. I became a bit unhinged, and I took them outside and smashed them with a hammer. I guess I figured that I didn't want them, and I'd be damned if anyone else got them after all the shit I'd had to put up with. That was back in '94. My stepmother eventually remarried and moved out of state, but we kept in contact. Last year, she came to town around Christmas. I didn't get a chance to see her, but she did drop a present off at my apartment while I was out. It was a candle lantern. It was the first time I was able to laugh about the whole ordeal. Reply by original poster. OMG, I know that feeling so well. I'm tearing up a little. Hugs. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. My ex did something similar. When I finally got rid of him, he left all of his father's things behind so he could take my stuff. My clothes, my shoes, most of my books, cherished belongings, etc. And then he told everyone that I had destroyed his father's stuff. His father lived with us, I was his caretaker until he died. It was a lot of stuff. A lot of it military-related. Couple years later, I was able to get in touch with a couple of his decent family members. In particular, a sister that adored her deceased dad and one of the few that actually made time to come see him and call him. I gave her all of it. It was 2 loads of stuff, 2 full loads of the bed of an F-150. Including a chest he had made that had family pics all the way back to the turn of the century. I made a point to put in the police report from when I called the cops while I was hiding in the backyard, the restraining order, his DUI, and the DNA test and the paperwork for child support for the child he had with someone else that he didn't tell anyone about. So when the nasty family members found me on FB and started sending me all kinds of awful messages for destroying their dad's things, I could honestly tell them to ask that one sister. I had given it all to her after my ex left it behind. And then blocked them all. Reply by original poster. This is awful. I'm really sorry. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. I went to the Ivy League school that all the other Ivy League schools scoff at and am married to someone who didn't finish community college. He has a great job though and is a beyond amazing husband. We're expecting and it's made me wonder how to present the importance or lack of importance of college to our kid. Like, my husband is doing well now, but it took a lot of hard work while also working full-time, and when I met him, he was driving for Uber to make ends meet. I would say I've worked just as hard but also had it easier because of college. But I also had $109K in student loans that literally took me 10 years to pay off. My husband is making decent income now but also never had to pay off student loans or deal with debt when he was making low income. And I did while also having entry-level income. The pandemic was terrible, but I am extremely curious if it was enough to change the classics nature of private universities. Like with a graduating class who could no longer take SATs the same way, or graduating classes who paid full tuition expecting an on-campus experience only to have to do all those things virtually. I am personally hoping for a world where we move away from emphasizing college. Anyway, long-winded way of saying it's total crap that he continually sent the message that your worth comes from what college you went to, and I'm so glad you got out. I had no idea based on the comments how common it is for Harvard people to need their partners to have also gone to some school similar. It makes me feel sorry for these people, honestly. They're missing out on such a bigger picture in life. Reply by original poster. It's a sad mentality. Your husband sounds great and you're lucky to have him. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. I guess the only thing he had was getting into a good school, but obvious it failed him miserably because he's such an asshole and needs to constantly remind you and anyone else he went to such and such school because that's all he's got. It's pretty obvious you're the smart one because you got away from that piece of shit man-child. Best of luck in your new life and journey with someone who actually appreciates and cares about you. Reply by original poster. Thanks for the kind words. And thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. I'm sorry you got stuck with a malignant narcissist for so long, but I'm glad you're free now. Reply by original poster. Thanks. And thanks for reading. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Were you married to my ex? He was very proud of his elite private prep school. The state university I attended for my college degree and later my graduate degree apparently didn't stand up to his high school diploma. Reply by original poster. Right? It's a type. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. My former mother-in-law was bats hit nuts about a box of photo albums. In her mind, my wife or her brother had made off with it, and she spooled herself up over that damned box of pictures every time she laid eyes on any of us. This went on for over a year. I was more spectator than participant, but my BL finally lost patience with her shit and just unceremoniously flipped her whole bed on its side, exposing everything beneath it, including the goddamned pictures. Without a word, he and his family left, and we followed right behind. The revenge wasn't a big deal, but nobody helped her fix or make her fucking bed. Come to think of it, I never went back. Reply by original poster. Wow. People really do get crazy. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Constantly talking about how wonderful your school and school friends were is so sexy. Reply by original poster. Right? Face with rolling eyes. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Good for you. I'm glad you found a nice man to be with now. Reply by original poster. Oh, thank you. Yes, my life is totally different now. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Dude, you're a better person than me. I would have made an album interlaced with stories of my trauma and sent it to everyone he knows. Reply by original poster. The essays are unpublished, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to publish them. Subscribe for updates. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Okay, but do a lot of people keep dozens of boxes of college memorabilia? I don't even know where my diploma is. Reply by original poster. I mean, fresh out of college, that stuff's fun. I think for people with kids might want to keep and share their memories. Mine had been in the top of a closet. Then when I bought my house, they went into the attic. I just sold my house and I threw almost everything out. Photos are on the internet now anyway, and who cares about an invitation to a party I don't remember going to? Comment by user. You are lucky to be rid of that first-rate egomaniac narcissistic prick. I would have rubbed his nose in it too. I might have done a recording with a calendar showing the date, opening the box, laughing my head off and saying, "Here's your fucking box I just found," and then let him watch me throw it in a fireplace or a burn barrel, but that's me.
Émoticône, riant de toutes ses dents.
Selling them so much better.
Émoticône, riant de toutes ses dents.
LOL. Reply by original poster. Face with tears of joy. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. Maybe this shows my age, but all I could picture was the SpongeBob episode where Patrick would not show SpongeBob his secret box. Reply by original poster. That's probably where he got it. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. How did you get the courage to write those essays? Reply by original poster. Sorry, I didn't understand before. It took a while. Usually there was a trigger, or I'd be writing something else and end up there. Sometimes I just type a stream of consciousness until something takes shape. You should try. It's important to tell your story, even if only to yourself. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. How did you get the courage to write those essays? Reply by original poster. Comment by user. TBH, part of me says you should have kept those books for yourself. Dungeons and Dragons is fun. Reply by original poster. I should learn. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com. Comment by user. I would move heaven and hell to get it back to him. Sounds insufferable. Reply by original poster. See? Thank you. I deserve this vindication. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I see why you guys split up. I couldn't deal with that. Reply by original poster. Took way too long for me to get away. Thanks for reading. Subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I'm sorry you went through this. My ex accused me of hiding/destroying his passport. I did not, nor would I ever be like him and destroy something like that. I knew where it was and told my lawyer where it was. My lawyer chose not to disclose this info. Years later, I casually asked my ex, "So, did you ever find your passport?" Him, yeah. It was in the bar. Me, "So, I never stole it or destroyed it?" Him, no, I guess not." Me, "Okay. Just wanted to hear that from you." Reply by original poster. Wow. I think it's like a felony, too, to possess or destroy someone else's passport. Sounds like we're both better off. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I worked with someone who graduated from the University of Chicago. It is impressive until you're told over and over how impressed you should be. We had similar positions at this company, but I was paid more. Me with my shiny diploma from a Catholic high school. Reply by original poster. Very few people guessed right, winking face. Subscribe. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. Good for you. Side note. Did you ever look in the box and see what all the fuss was about? Reply by original poster. Just pictures and clippings and swag from college. In the 90s, face with tears of joy. Subscribe for the rest of the story. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. I'ma pour one out for those innocent Dungeons and Dragons books. Reply by original poster. Face with tears of joy. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. Guy sounds like an absolute loser. Glad you moved on. Reply by original poster. Things are much better now. Thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com http://pearlsbeforewine.com Comment by user. Please learn from this and never continue dating anyone who puts you down. That was a warning sign of what was to come. I am so glad for you that he is an ex. Reply by original poster. Thanks. And thanks for reading. You can subscribe here. http://pearlsbeforewine.com Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.